All right, everybody, and welcome back after lesson one. We've got a really good handle on things, I hope, and this is lesson two. So to start lesson two, we have the basics of building materials. This is not going to be as glamorous, as fun as some other ones. However, it is essential. What we're going to go over, my name is Tyler Scott. I'm with the Scott Family Real Estate Company, and this is DIY Home Valuation Mastery course. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there you go at the bottom. Now it's all done. All right, for the agenda, we're going to go over we're going to overview of residential construction. We're going to go over foundations and structural framework, exterior materials, interior finishes and fixtures, and then mechanical systems and utilities. Once again, the purpose of this lesson is to not make you a master contractor or put you out of your comfort zone, but it's things we have to know. You cannot possibly value a home without understanding first the basics of how they're built or how how some of their qualities and stuff, because we're going to go over quality and condition later, and you can't do that without understanding these essentials or at least having a good grasp on them. All right, overview of residential construction. As always, I try to do a different kind of slideshow so to not, lose your focus. Try to change it up a bit. All right, we're going to review some basic home styles. Now, the first thing we talked about in lesson one was some home styles: colonial style homes, Cape Cod style homes, ranch style homes, split level homes. These are going to be a lot of the majority of your homes. However, just so we can talk about them again real quick, you already know what these are. I'm not going to spend any time going over these. I just kind of want to throw them back at you. All right, get used to saying them, get used to understanding them, because they're the first thing you got to know. All right, when you start to look at a home, you need to take some climate considerations into your quality and condition ratings that we're going to discuss later. There's a cold weather impact. Cold winters require materials that withstand freezing temperatures and prevent heat loss. For example, when you go to say the quality of a home is great or a condition of a home is great, and you might even be able to knock on some some interior walls or exterior walls. A lot of times exterior walls will always be insulated, right? This keeps the cold weather out and the warm heat in. However, is the interior walls, are they insulated? Now, a lot of times that's not an easy question. It's something people don't think of. Well, the interior wall insulation can prevent drafts. It can prevent noise, right, which raises the overall quality and condition of the home. Humid summer challenges. Humidity in the summer demands moisture-resistant materials to prevent damage and decay. Once again, you're going to be looking for mold. You're going to be looking for, especially in condition, you're going to be looking for mold. And especially in bathrooms. This is going to be a problem in bathrooms. When you go to a bathroom and you see no vent, that's going to affect the quality of the home. It's going to affect the condition of the home. Because even if there's a window, right, and it's an egress window or whatever, if there's a window, it doesn't really provide a vent. So all that hot air, all that moisture is going to leak into the walls. It's going to leak into the paint. It's going to age that particular bathroom a lot faster. And these are things that you need to be able to look at. I can walk right into a bathroom like boom, boom, boom. I can tell you what the type of condition this is just by removal of a vent, right? So that's huge. Durability and energy efficiency. It looks like my little box blocks that out there. Durable, weather-resistant materials enhance structural integration and energy efficiency. So I think it's integration when I wrote it down. Anyway, is the home durable? Is it energy efficient? For example, high peaked living rooms with high, with an air conditioning vent up there and then near the ceiling, right? You start to look at flow of air conditioning. How does this affect utility bills? Are there solar panels? Is it heated water? Is it gas heat? Is it electric heat? These are things that you need to take into consideration. Utilities, the upgrade on utilities can help upgrade the quality or the condition of the home. Utilities alone, if they're really, really good utilities. I had one home I appraised that was a 2000, I think it was a 2006 home, but the owner had really upgraded all the utilities to 2020s type top of the line utilities, and I took that in severe consideration and was able to adjust it by $15,000 to $20,000 in additional value for the home. Now it was a very high end home, so which is why you saw that adjustment kind of move in that direction, just over utilities. However, what you are seeing is that utilities can play a major factor, especially if they save. If you can sell someone on the idea that this saves $300 to $400 a month in utilities or $200 a month in utilities. That's an appealing thing, and it doesn't need updates, so you're saving on the updation costs. That's very big. So just remember when you're going through these homes and you're going through things, cold weather impact, humid summers, durability, energy efficiency. That's all you need to be conscious of. I mean, you could we'll go over it on the form in lesson 3, but you're going to be like, hey, when you're doing the home valuation, you keep these in consideration. Foundations and structural framework. All right, common foundation materials, concrete, block, and stone. All right, the very first thing I do as an appraiser when I go to do a home inspection is I start to notice the material. I know the home style. I know the location. I'm looking at the location. I'm looking down the street. I'm looking at potential noise. I'm looking how quiet the street is. I'm looking at neighbor on neighbor line, if they're encroaching, if there's any survey problems. And then one of the very first things I'm seeing is foundation. Is it poured concrete? Is it concrete block? Is it stone foundation? So poured concrete provides strong, seamless foundations with good durability and moisture resistance in homes. Concrete block foundations offer modular foundation solutions with moderate durability and require careful moisture control. Stone foundations. Stone foundations are traditional, providing good durability but variable moisture resistance based on the stone type and construction. Why is this important? This is extremely important when you go at the quality of the home. Poured concrete foundations are going to be much more durable, much more moisture resistant. If you have a basement, you could go right down the basement. If you've got concrete walls, you've got poured concrete foundations. If you've got concrete blocks like this, you'll see that in the basement as well. You'll see it looks like a brick lining, right? Well, is it solid concrete or does it look like bricks that are in there? Those are concrete blocks. And ultimately, concrete, or if you have a really older home like a 1900 home or 1840 or 1880 home or something, anything pre-1930, 1940s, you're going to see a lot of stone foundations. That's where you see all the different, they look like concrete, but it's not. It looks like rocks and gravel, but they're big gravel like stone. It's stone foundations, and that's a lot of leakage. That's a lot of moisture. You're likely going to have a lot more termites in there. You're likely going to have a lot more asbestos, or you're going to have more mold in the air. Definitely a lot more mold, white mold. There's going to be a lot of cockroaches that probably fester in there over time because it's older. The problem is that the water from outside the home under the ground wants to get in, right? It wants to get in. It's going in the ground, it's spreading, and then it hits that, that foundation. Is it able to get through? Well, on a stone foundation, it gets through. You're like, well, it's sealed. It might be sealed, but it gets through. Don't ask me how it happens. A lot of that moisture gets in, especially through the windows if there's little windows. There's cracks, there's leaks, there's cracks. It doesn't work out as well. So it's going to be like, hey, is this a high quality home? And if you see a stone foundation over a poured concrete foundation, it's going to be one of your first tell signs that maybe it's not the higher quality like you think it is. All right. Now, condition still could be very, very well taken care of, but quality is what we're looking at here. But concrete block foundations, they're all right. They're moderate. And then poured concrete is the best, right? At least for this particular scenario. So what you're going to run into is when you're going to go do your quality or condition ratings, mainly quality, you're going to look at, is it poured concrete? That's top of the line. Concrete block, that's moderate. Stone foundation, it's older. It's going to create a lot more moisture. It's not what you want. And it's going to be a little bit lower quality. It doesn't mean you can't have a great home, because there's a lot of beautiful historical homes that have stone foundations. There's a lot of these vintage homes that have stone foundations, but we got to look at quality stuff, and we're going to discuss that in the next couple lessons. Framing systems, wood versus steel. Wood framing, prevalence. Wood framing is the dominant method in residential construction due to its affordability and ease of use. Steel framing is utilized for added strength and specialized architectural designs in residential structures. Structural assessment importance. Man, I'm blocking my words out again. Understanding these framing systems helps in evaluating the soundness of residential buildings. All right, now, I'm sorry, structural assessment. Yeah, steel framing versus wood framing. Steel is higher quality, no doubt about it. Wood is still good quality. Now, it depends on when that wood was done, right? You know, if you're like 1880, I'll use extreme cases here. In 1880, you're looking at what, 255 years right now? All right, so 155 years. 155 years of wood. Oh, you might need some beams replaced. You might need some roofing beams replaced. You might need some siding replaced. You might need some doors replaced. You might need some floor replaced. Wood is not supposed to last forever when it comes to home and moisture and things of that nature. It'll rot. It'll eventually go bad. Steel is not as easily, how do I say it? It's not combustible, erodible. It's not as easily as erodible, right? So if you're looking at quality, wood and steel. Now, big thing about this one is the framing. You're not going to see a lot of steel framing, okay, in residential homes. So you're still going to have high quality homes that have wood framing in them. It's just you got to look at the year and you got to look at the condition of the wood. This is where you go into the basement and you can quite literally look up into the wood and you can see, all right, is it cracking? Is it bent? Are there signs of termites? Are there signs of degradation? Degradation is a big one. All right, so when you're looking at this, wood framing, steel framing for the evaluation. Now, I'm getting into a lot of details here, something that you would do as an appraiser if you were an appraiser, but you're not. You're here to learn how to value your home. But you need to keep these things in mind because at me as an appraiser and other appraisers, this is what they're going to look at. Now, is it going to affect them hugely on this? No, but you need to keep in mind this is a consideration that they're looking at. Identifying structural components during evaluation. Load-bearing walls identification. Recognizing load-bearing walls is crucial for assessing structural stability during home valuations. Beams and joist detections. Evaluator must identify beams and joists to evaluate the support system and detect potential issues. This is way too far in the woods, right? So I'm not going to even begin to go into this one with you too far, but just be aware that structural integrity is something as an appraiser I'm going to be looking at. And as an evaluator, you can look at as well, like, is this structurally sound? The biggest issue that we see with this particular component is add-on rooms. For example, someone adds on a sunroom. Right? It used to be a deck, but then they put the whole 9 yards on it. They put the little roof on it, the walls on it, try to hook up some air conditioning, and they put some different beams and structure to it, and it looks like it's a part of the house. But it's not. It's not a part of the same foundation. It's different. It's affecting the structural integrity of the home. Now, it doesn't matter if the rest of the home is completely structurally sound. If one room is capable of collapsing and killing people, right, that's a massive danger hazard. That's huge. And that's something that's going to pop up and say, this is not a good quality home. And I've actually seen that before. I've seen someone they didn't like where their kitchen was. And they added a kitchen on what used to be a deck, right? And they moved the kitchen out of there, and it used to be like a deck. I was like, you have a kitchen and a half bath on a deck. I was like, what? You could literally walk underneath it because it used to have a literal deck. You just had the same beams there. I think you put up a big middle beam, but you could see the foundation. It was a concrete block foundation. It was a 1960s home. And I was like, this is insanity to me. This is not safe. It's not safe at all. This particular structure was not capable of handling the extra weight of the walls and the roof and the shingles and everything else, and the extra weight of the kitchen and the kitchen appliances or the bathroom and the plumbing. It just, I mean, they had plumbing exposed underneath the home on the outside of the home because it wasn't within that initial structure. You could just walk right underneath it. It was interesting. Anyway, just know where some load-bearing walls are. Take a look. Being when you're walking through, like, structurally sound, boom, 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 right? Just notice anything that's unstructurally sound because that's definitely going to affect your quality rating, but we'll talk about that. Exterior materials. All right, so this is the stuff that you're going to see right when you walk up to the home. Is it vinyl? Is it brick, stone, veneer, wood? There's stucco. We talked about stucco with the Tudor style homes. Right? There's a lot of those. So but vinyl siding benefits. Vinyl is favored for its affordability and low maintenance requirements, making it a practical choice. You can have a lot of good homes with vinyl on the side of them. I've seen a lot of decent, medium to high quality homes with vinyl or mixed stone or mixed vinyl and something else. Brick and stone durability. Brick and stone veneer provide durable building materials with a timeless and classic aesthetic appeal. All right, obviously brick and stone, you're going to get more money for your dollar. It doesn't need replaced like vinyl. It's a lot more durable and it provides a lot more safety and security in storms. Wood siding charm. So I call it wood siding. Wood siding offers traditional charm and warmth, but requires maintenance to preserve its look. Painting, chipping, replacing the wood siding. Wood siding would probably be the lower quality here. Vinyl siding a little bit medium quality, and brick and stone obviously top quality, depending on the type of stone. This is not, of course, comparable to the stone foundation, but a stone siding. So I recognize the difference. Roofing materials, asphalt shingles, metal, tile. Asphalt shingles are very popular. Everyone knows what asphalt shingles are. They get replaced once every 10 years or so, and it works out. Metal roofing benefits. Metal roofs are actually higher durability and longer lifespan compared to other roofing materials. Now, a big misconception is that metal roofs are cheaper and not as durable as asphalt shingles. That's not necessarily true, okay? It can be true if they just throw some metal sheets on top and staple or hammer them in with nails. I've seen that. I've seen some very low quality metal roofing. But anything that's professionally done, a lot of metal roofs actually provide a lot better roofing solutions. Tile roofing styles like what you see over here. Tile roofs are chosen for the aesthetic appeal and longevity in a roofing solution. So tile roofing is very, very well done. That's going to be your higher quality homes. You're going to see those in like Hispanic-led places, New Mexico, Arizona, California. I've seen some tile roofings here, but once again, they're going for a Hispanic, Spanish tile home. Metal roofing, a lot of farm homes are doing those, or more higher quality farm homes are doing those these days. And then asphalt shingles, that's 90% of your homes. So. Window and door construction. Material variations. Windows and doors are constructed with various materials such as vinyl, wood, and aluminum to suit different needs. Impact on home value. The quality and condition of windows and doors greatly influence home value and market appeal. That is very true. To replace a home with, let's say, 15 to 20 windows, that could be 20 to 25 grand. That's to replace the windows. The doors, every door in the home, if they're not taken care of, they need replaced. You're looking at a potential 10 more, right? Another 10 grand, right? For installation as well as everything. So you're talking about a $30,000, $40,000 value in some cases. Now, most cases, it'll be about 10 to 20, but it is potential. So I would say in between $10,000 and $30,000 for most homes for window and door replacement. This is huge when we talk about condition of the home. Now, we'll talk about that later, but when we talk about the condition, the conditional rating, the doors, that's going to be important. Doors and windows are extremely important. So just make sure you have it on your note, doors and windows. Look at everything. Things you don't even think to look at, like the trim of the floor, and we'll get into that. Energy efficiency. Energy efficiency, windows and doors improve energy performance by the loss and enhancing insulation. I can't remember what I put on either one. Anyway, so the point is energy efficiency. If you've got wood-based windows, they're more likely to leak air. They're more likely to leak in water. If you have vinyl windows or any sort of high quality windows, you'll notice the difference with sound insulation or any other weather insulation windows. Take that into consideration. Value those windows out and ask the homeowner, if you're not the homeowner doing the evaluation, saying, how much did these cost? Or when's the last time these were replaced? Because windows and doors are a huge consideration that can sway a lot of value, right? And that's why. Interior finishes and fixtures, the fun part. Okay, cool. Wall, materials, drywall, plaster, paneling. Drywall in modern homes. We all know what drywall is. It's easy to use, easy effective, cost effective. You're good. Everybody, a lot of homes have drywall. And they can last a long time. Plaster in older construction. Plaster walls are typically in older buildings, providing a durable and textured surface, but often requiring more maintenance. So when you look at an older home and you're like, oh, this is really beautiful, this is really quality, think about the plaster. This is something that when you go to value a home, you're like, is someone willing to take on a plaster wall home, knowing that they require more maintenance? Now, a lot of more maintenance could be more money. More money meaning higher quality. All right, you could go down that rabbit hole, but you could also go down the rabbit hole of maybe, more maintenance equals more money equals higher value buyers don't want as much maintenance. All right, so you need to be very careful when you're looking at these things. Wood paneling features. Wood paneling adds aesthetic warmth and character to interiors commonly found in older or rustic homes. That's a case-by-case scenario. Impact on repair and finish. Choice of wall material influences repair costs and quality of the interior finish significantly. Once again, we're talking about quality at this point. When you're looking at a home and how it's built, you're looking at quality and condition. It's going to all come back. I keep saying that. Maybe I should have made you do condition and quality rating first. I don't know. We'll see how this works out. Okay, cool. Floor types: hardwood, carpet, laminate, tile. Hardwood flooring, carpet flooring, laminate flooring, tile flooring, right? There's going to be a bunch of different floorings. Most houses have more than one type of flooring. Typically, they got some sort of hardwood or tile, laminate, mixed with carpet, no carpet, I don't know. What you need to do is you need to look at the majority of the home. Is the majority of the home hardwood? Because hardwood flooring offers durability and a timeless aesthetic that enhances a home's value and appeal. Carpet flooring is the majority of the home carpet. Now you could have maybe like, oh look, the walkway. I had a house once I was looking at, and for an appraisal when I was valuing it, and you walk in, it's beautiful marble. I mean, it's beautiful marble floors, beautiful marble tiles on the sides. There's a big chandelier that came down, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of marble. The rest of the home, carpet, cheap carpet at that. So I valued the home to have carpet, and of course I get a complaint because they're like, oh, look at this beautiful marble I have here, and what about the hardwood floor in the kitchen? And I was like, yeah, but that makes up 15% of the home, square footage. The other 85% is cheap carpet. And I'm not going to value a home. You could put $100,000 worth of marble in the walkway. I'm not going to give credit for that because the most of the home doesn't share those features. And that's what you're going to end up doing here. So carpet flooring is warmth and comfort, often brings more affordable and cozy floor options. Some people like carpet. Some people like carpet in their bedrooms. Some people like carpet in the living room. It just depends. But carpet overall is a cheaper and less valuable option than hardwood flooring is, and which means hardwood flooring would be a higher quality, right? The issue for the homeowner is keeping it in good condition. It's easy to replace carpet or bad carpet. It's not easy to replace good hardwood flooring. Laminate flooring, easy to replace, budget friendly, but the more budget friendly it is means the more lower quality is. Tile flooring depends on the type of tile, but it's durable, easy to use, suitable for high moisture areas, and adding a sleek look. Tile flooring can look really good. Once again, is it a laminate tile? Is it a stone-based tile? Is it a marble-based tile? What type of tile is it? And once again, look at the square footage of the flooring compared to the home. If you have a 1,000 square foot home and 100 square foot of it is the most beautiful tile flooring you've ever seen in your life, and 900 square foot is cheap carpet, it's a cheap carpet home. If 800 square feet of it is hardwood flooring and 200 square feet is laminate flooring, it's a hardwood flooring home, right? Even if that laminate is probably going to be in your bathrooms and maybe kitchen area, you know, you're going to see a lot of that. It's a hardwood floor home. So you can note it in there in your valuation that it is there, but it's not going to affect the value of the majority of the home. Whatever the majority of the home has, that's where it is. And that's where you need to start looking at, all right, what is the square footage of this room? And that's where we go back to the county auditor's office or the website that we talked about in our last lesson. Start pulling up the square footage of the home. If I got a 1,000 square foot home, which is what? It's probably a cottage of some sort, a bungalow of some sort, 1,000 square feet. And at 1,000 square feet, if it's all, if it's all hardwood, it's all hardwood. That's great. But you need to really take, I think I've beaten this dead horse down, but just make sure you're taking in consideration the numbers. That's why you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. Cabinetry, countertops, and built-in features. Variety of materials. Cabinetry and countertops come in diverse materials such as wood, stone, and laminate, each impacting durability and appearance. Aesthetic influence. The style and finish of built-in features greatly affect the visual appeal and value of kitchen and bathroom spaces. Built-in. I've seen a lot of homes where people try to put in like a cabinet. Like, look, it has a cabinet. I was like, I could move that cabinet out right now. It's not built in. It's not a built-in feature. So I'm not going to value it. It's furniture. It's furniture if it's not built in. Functional impact. Quality and design of cabinetry and countertops influence usability and convenience, impacting overall appraisal. All right. No lie. I even had a second bathroom where they just put the bathroom sink, its own bathroom sink. It wasn't attached, and it had a little water thing underneath, right? So I don't know how they did it. It was essentially just a makeshift sink that wasn't attached to plumbing, and it had its own plumbing circuit. It was the wildest thing I'd seen, and I was like, half bath is what I called it. I called it a half bath. Like, it's a full bath. I was like, nah, it doesn't have a sink. And there's like a sink right there. I was like, I could move that out. It's not attached to the floor. It's not attached to the piping. It's not attached. It's furniture. So I was like, no, that's not how that works. Variety of materials. Let's go back to that one. Cabinetry and countertops come in diverse materials such as wood, stone, laminate. You're going to know high quality materials. You walk into a kitchen. Is it a laminate countertop? You little wood pieces. It's a little chip. It's wood with a little smooth surface. Or is it marble? Is it stone? Is it granite? Granite countertops. A lot of people talk about those. You need to take those into consideration. And the quality, you need to price those out. If you were to replace them, if you were to replace a granite countertop today, like, you could do a quick check at Home Depot or Lowe's, just get a basic number, and then say, oh, okay, it's $15,000 worth of granite countertops, then that's probably what the value is of that granite countertop. Now, you're not going into that much detail, but you're saying the type of quality, because we're going to get into how much that impacts quality and condition here in a minute, or in your next lessons. Mechanical systems and utilities. We talked about this a little bit before, but let's go into it now. All right, plumbing materials, copper, PEX, PVC. Copper plumbing. Copper pipes are traditional materials known for durability and corrosion resistance in plumbing systems. Copper is what you want to see. For any type of plumbing, you're going to see PVC pipes, no doubt about it. But if you see a lot of copper plumbing, especially coming out of your water heater, that's good. If you see PVC pipe coming out of your water heater, it can be good, but it may not. I don't know. You're going to have to take a look at it. PEX piping is flexible and easier to install, offering resistance to scale and chlorine damage. Yeah, that's not good. PVC pipes are lightweight, cost-effective plastic materials, cold water and drainage systems. I blocked my word off there. Anyway, PVC pipes, you're going to see a lot of those. You're going to see a lot of mix of copper and PVC pipes. The main thing you want to look at is older homes. You just want to make sure there's no big pipes going into small outlets, right? And that's going to cause plumbing backups. All right, that's the biggest thing I can tell you as a home evaluator. Once again, I'm not asking you to be a plumber or a plumbing expert here, but you need to know the general census of what you're looking at and the quality of which the home was built. If you see a big, like a pipe that's this big, usually a sewage pipe, PVC pipe this big, running through the basement, boom, 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 and then it goes into a hole like this big, right? Then that's not good, right? You're seeing a big plumbing go to little plumbing. Now, what you do want to see is you can see little plumbing go into big plumbing. That's okay. Big plumbing into little plumbing, you're asking for a plumbing problem. And usually those are done by, not fly by night plumbing companies that come in to fix something, or maybe some homeowner didn't want to redo the entire, maybe it was a $7,000 plumbing job, and he said, yeah, well, screw that, I'm just going to do a quick fix and then put this in there. So looking at your plumbing can greatly affect the condition of the home, and a home inspector will be able to pop those out for you. But you're not in home inspection class. Home inspectors do a very, very good job of figuring that stuff out. But for the most part, you just be aware. Try to do some research on plumbing a little bit, and you could watch like 2 or 3 YouTube videos on how plumbing works and get a really good understanding for you to be like, okay, it doesn't look so bad, or hey, there might be some problems here. Electrical wiring and panels. I'm not even going to begin to try and say that I know everything about electrical wiring and panels. What I do know is when breakers don't work, here's what I know. Knob and tube wiring. Older knob and tube wiring systems are less common but important to recognize for safety and valuation purposes. Modern circuit breaker panels. Modern circuit breaker panels provide improved safety and easier electrical system management in buildings. Safety and compliance. Proper identification of wiring types ensures safety, compliance, and accurate property evaluation. A lot of older homes will have multiple circuit breaker boards, or it causes a lot of issues. So essentially, same thing with plumbing. Watch a couple videos, say the basics of home wiring, home electrical panels, and you'll be able to see what looks really old, what doesn't. If you have a question, you can always attempt to reach out to me, or you can of course, Google it yourself. I'm not saying that this is Google, but a home evaluator does not need to be an electrician. You don't need to be a plumber. The purpose of this is for you to have a basic understanding and to know that you need to take a look at some electrical wiring and panels, just to be aware of the condition or quality of their end. Don't need to know how they work. You don't need to install it. You just need to know the condition and quality that they're in. That's it. And for our final slide here, I believe, HVAC system variations, insulation material impact, energy and comfort factors. Whew, all right. Different HVAC systems offer varying types and efficiencies to suit diverse heating and cooling needs in buildings. Once again, understand the difference in insulation, understand the difference in HVAC, understand the difference in energy and comfort factors. You don't need to be an expert. You don't even need to be proficient. You just need to understand the basic, what is your HVAC system, right? For example, I had a unit once. It was very small, it was an efficiency like condo, and I installed what's called a mini duct split unit. It heated the entire 600 square foot apartment, and heated and aired it, because it didn't have traditional air conditioning going throughout the condo. That was a $7,500 unit. It was a very high-end, unit, but problem was that it didn't go all the way into the bedroom unless the bedroom door was open. Now it's a 1-bedroom, you can leave the bedroom door open, but it goes to quality of it, right? So insulation material impact, it affects your energy costs, your home comfort, and by improving thermal efficiency. It's kind of what I talked about on one of the very first slides. Insulation is huge. Understand the type of insulation that you have in there. And energy and comfort factors. Efficient HVAC and insulation contribute significantly to energy savings and maintaining comfortable indoor environment. just understand what you're looking at. I'm putting this on a list for you guys to be like, all right, take note, insulation. What type of insulation is in the home? What type of HVAC systems in the home? What type of electrical is used? If there's a faulty panel somewhere, is there some plumbing that looks like it'll back up? Does it look like bad plumbing? Why is there a PVC pipe coming out of the water heater and not a copper heater? Copper thing. These are little easy things that we can pick up that will help you with your home. Go, oh, okay, that's a quality. Once again, I'm not asking to be an appraiser. I'm not asking to be a contractor. I'm not asking to be a home inspector. But as a home evaluator, you got to understand the basics. You got to be like, yeah, this is going to affect the value because you're trying to get as close to the best value as possible. And these things are going to adjust that. Conclusion, knowing the importance of material knowledge, right? The importance of material knowledge. Knowing essential building materials helps appraisers assess homes accurately and fairly. Now, you're not an appraiser, right? Or maybe you want to be one day, but what they're going to say is what you should be picking up as well. I'm giving you appraisal practices. I'm giving you appraisal knowledge. So knowing the essential building materials is where you need to start, right? We're going to go into quality, we're going to go into condition, but you have to understand these things even in its basic form, or at least what to look for before you go, oh, it's a good quality home, or it's a 4-star rating, or it's a 3-star rating. How would you know the difference if you don't know how it's built, right? And then we're getting into that. Support accurate valuations. Understanding home systems enables precise property valuation and market analysis. Highlights local construction. Knowledge of local building characteristics reveal unique features influencing property value. If you get really good at, you start to understand, like, let's say you're a coastal town. A lot of coastal properties are built much differently than properties built 30 miles inland, right? So you're going to want to be like, oh, okay, it's not going to compare the same. They're going to use different materials. They're going to use different building construction. They're going to use different construction types. It's going to affect the overall value. But is the value of the home based on location, or is it based on building quality, right? What is building quality, right? So you have to adjust your mindset for every market that you're looking in. So, but anyway, with that conclusion, I know it's not the funnest, I know it's not the more fun lesson. I know it's a lot of things I've thrown at you. You can go back, look through it. I very much encourage you to go back through each slide on your own, pause it, take a look at it, really understand that, just read it several times. Practice it. Go through your own house when you get off this lesson, or where you walk to someone else's house. Those are nice doors. Those are new doors right there. Oh wow, you don't have trimming up here. But I also noticed that you have floor-based heating, not ceiling-based heating. Ceiling-based heating will keep things a little bit more efficient. Ooh, I did notice, ooh, look at that, oh, there's a crack there, or ooh, that's the type of water heater you have, or ooh. And once you start judging, oh, carpet, you got mostly carpet, oh, you have mostly hardwood. And these are little things that you can pick up, and you just start practicing just by looking around your own house and looking around other places. Well, with that, my name is Tyler Scott. This is the DIY Home Valuation Mastery course. I'm with Scott Family Real Estate, and I bid you good day or a good night or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you at lesson 2.2. Thank you so much. Bye.